Hello world, it's Curtis Potter with Boundless Inspiration. I had to make this video, and I decided I'm going to turn it into a series because it's a topic that's way too real, and I got to do my part in it because I know the pain, I know the feeling. So it's saying Suicide Prevention Week, month, whatever, but I have talked to 5 different people this week on 5 different days, and all 5 of those people were saying they were contemplating suicide. This is a real thing, folks. Life's hard. It is so hard at times. And I speak to you from experience. I had went through some stuff that messed me up as a kid. You'll read it in my book that I'm writing eventually when I publish it. But just know that any person that gets to a place in their life where they're contemplating taking their own life, they've been through some hard stuff and are still going through it. They've become jaded with the world. They a lot of times they've likely thought that they can't talk to anyone. I had already made a video about suicide a while back, and it was about a guy that actually jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge and lived, because he's like 0.001% of people who actually live through it because of the fall, the tides, the undertow, them like breaking ribs or something where they can't even swim, so they normally drowned. The guy that actually lived through it, I want to remind you that in that video, he says the moment he jumped off the bridge and he knew it was too late, instantly when his body left the bridge, he was instantly thinking, he said, God, please save me, please save me, please save me. I don't want to die, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. I just didn't know what to do. He's saying that as he's going all the way down, and he smacks. And when he tells the story, it was actually, I don't remember the name, what kind of sea creature it was, like a seal, or I don't know what they have there exactly, but it actually brought him to the surface until he was able to wave a boat that come and saved him. And it was an animal that saved his life. And in this video, he talks about it was God, because God really knew he didn't want to die, but he had to learn that lesson. But he said, look, I know how all of you feel. And see, I'm speaking from experience because I almost committed suicide when I was a kid. I was 15, I believe, and my best friend saved my life. And I'm so grateful that I didn't. And the biggest thing that I want to tell all of you, any of you who are contemplating suicide or knowing someone that is, it's a real thing. And no, it's not you. You're not a messed up individual. You just went through some messed up stuff and you don't know how to handle it mentally. But I'll tell you, my buddy saved my life, and he was like, Curtis, you're an amazing person. You know, like this didn't have nothing to do with you. I had dad issues. I had abandonment issues, self-worth issues, because of a situation that I was placed in. But life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. See, I was so young that I didn't know how to communicate that I needed help. The things that happened to me, I was holding them in. And it was just killing me every single day. But you could get help. And you can get through that trauma. If you need a program, I have an amazing program that I can connect you with. It's a non-for-profit that's been in existence for over 30 years. They do this training mainly it's based out of Indiana, but they do it all over the United States and the world. They can do it in Spanish. Like, they go over to Mexico and all other countries, and they're just doing this to help people get healing because the person that started this realized the trauma he had went through as a kid and the importance of getting through it and how you could become something amazing. This person is making millions of dollars a year. And it took by him getting healing and him knowing, like, if you're going through suicidal thoughts, you know you need help. But for some reason, we're bound. That's why I created this brand, Boundless. I was bound. I almost took my own life because I didn't know how to communicate. I didn't know how to admit that I needed help. I thought I was being weak by asking for help, and it wasn't. That's not the case. Please listen to me if you're contemplating suicide at all, ever. You are not weak by getting help. You are being strong. You're being strong enough to be vulnerable with someone that wants to help you. I want to help every single person that I spoke to this week. I said, please, if you ever need to talk, please call me, message me, something. Please call somebody. There's free 24-hour suicide hotlines you could call. I invite you to go back and look at one of my videos. It was a dream about meeting God, I believe. I'm sorry, I should have researched that before I did this video. I'll put it in the comment sections. But I made a video about a dream I had, and it was when I was contemplating suicide. And I was an angel. Like I literally met God. I was an angel on earth because I made it to heaven. But I did have to watch everybody that was hurting because of me. I had to watch them when they was hurting for me. So any loved one that was hurting and never thought of me, man, Curtis, I miss you, buddy. I wish you was here. I was with them right then. So I was hurting for years after that as I was watching this, and I couldn't do nothing about it. Long story short, that's the story. But I promise you there will be so many people at your funeral saying, I wish this person would talk about their suicidal thoughts. If you don't feel comfortable talking to someone you know because you're fearful of being judged, no, I won't judge you. I've been there. I know how it feels, and I just want to help you. Even if you don't want to reach out to me or anyone you know, there are so many counselors out there who can give you professional advice. They went to schooling to help you. There's so many people that want to help you. So please, please, please hear me. Please do not try to take your own life. And don't be shackled by those thoughts that go in your head, because you'll lose sleep. You'll get wrinkles on your foreheads, quick gray hairs. You'll be stressed. It's not only a situation that hurts you when it happened, but it's robbing you every single day, every moment of every single day. The person I had talked to yesterday about it, a doctor, and she was still struggling with what happened to her when she was 4, 5, 30 years. She's been shackled. She said, you know what? Like, we got talking about it. Everything happens for a reason. And she said, you know what? When I hit my last birthday, it was a landmark birthday, and I realized how many years I had been dealing with that. I said, it's time to get help. And she said, it's still hard. It still hurts. I still cry. She said, but you know what? I'm so glad that day that I went and talked to a professional counselor, because I'll reach out to my counselor and be like, I'm so pissed right now. And I said, get it, girl. Get it out. And she was smiling. And see this smile on my face, I'm thinking about all the reasons why I wanted to commit suicide. I was molested as a kid. I was sold for $5,000 in 3rd grade. I was sold. I didn't see my father for the rest of my childhood. I had so many daddy issues and drug issues. I was molested, so I had sex addict issues. I got through all that, and don't get me wrong, all that stuff still pops in my head. But you know what? I believe in God, and I believe that's the devil just trying to prevent you from moving forward in life. You got one life to live, folks. Like you owe it to yourself. And look, I know if you're thinking about suicide, you might be mad right now. And like, you want to be talking crap, but I love you so much, and I feel you that like, I just want to tell you, you owe it to yourself. Because I know that you're like, I just wish I didn't have these thoughts anymore. I just wish I had a better life. I just wish stuff was given to me. Like, I just wish I had that relationship. I just wish I had that job. I just wish, right? I know how you feel. The thing is, you and only you are the creator of your life. Bad shit can happen to you. Bad shit still happens. You get thrown curveballs. But you know what? Like, you just, once you make that decision to get help and saying, you know what, all those wishes, I'm going to be done wishing and hoping and praying for my life and this stuff to be given to me. You know what? I'm not going to be bound by that thought no more. You know what? Instead, I'm going to take some ownership. I'm going to look myself in the mirror and say, you know what? I'm going to control what I can control and forget about the rest. Like, if my life is a shit show so bad that I'm debating shooting myself, what can I control to move myself as far away as possible from that thought ever again? Like, what can I do? Because, folks, let's just admit it. People might not show up for you. You might not be in the family where your family shows up. You might not have chose the right friends that when push comes to shove, they don't show up for you. You know, I know you were probably just choosing all those people because it's your heart. And this is my family. I can't choose my family. Those friends that I called brother, sister, I thought they were good, loyal, integral people. Sometimes you cannot help the cards that you're dealt. But you damn sure can't play them cards. You can take that step and reach out to a counselor. There's free counselors, so you can't even say it's money. If you're watching this video, then you have a source that can get you counseling. They now have counseling that you can listen to or talk over the phone. You never even have to see them face to face if you don't want to. You never have to look them in the eyes. But if you're going to do that, I invite you to be honest. Why lie? Then that's just wasting time. You're just telling a story, a fairy tale. But if you truly want healing from that trauma, go in there and be honest. And then they can say, you know what? These are the steps we're going to take. You already took the first step. Watching this whole video is already a first step. Now, let's get past it. Let's get past it together. Put a smile on your face. I'll tell you, man, I've just even the stuff that I've went through in the last month and the amount of energy I have had to put out to accomplish some of the things that I'm working on right now. I mean, it's like almost physically and mentally exhausting. So I invite you to look at or listen to a podcast that's called Rewire by Ryan Stewman. And he calls it the law of average. So when you're trying to move forward like I'm doing this month and have been, there's gonna be things that are gonna try to kick you right in the nuts so you retreat, right? Because the law of average wants you to stay average. But the thing is I know that now. Like, I know, if I know I'm doing something good, like I'm moving forward, I know, hey, when's the kick in the nuts coming? Like, when's it coming? It's at least going to be a kick in the shin. That shit hurts too. Like, when's it coming? I just expect it now. So, well, you know, bam, here it comes. And I'm just like, knew that was coming. And you'll get to be the same way because life is a continual lesson that has to give you situations for you to learn that lesson. That's why life is the best teacher. There's shit that I'm saying you can't learn in a book. And that's why I go speak at them youth prisons. And I'm going to speak at the women's prisons because I feel them. I understand you and I know your pain. And I promise you, if you get committed to getting healing on this trauma, you will become so confident in yourself and happy and smiling and enjoying your life. And when you realize that you can be the creator of your life, whatever your dreams are, I want to be an astronaut. You can achieve it. I mean, it's going to take you a lot of work, but look at SpaceX and I don't know the other one. Them two dudes are just, they made their own spaceship so they could go to space. Like, You can do it. NASA don't got to choose you. You got to choose you. You got to look at yourself and say, I'm not killing myself because I love myself in my life. Life is a blessing. I invite you to listen to a song by J. Cole, Love Yourself. It says, no one's life is better than your own because you are the captain of your ship. You get to dictate your life. Screw the curveballs. Learn how to hit curveballs. The best paid baseball players are the ones that can still hit curveballs and hit home runs. And think about baseball. I heard Eric Thomas say this. If you want somebody that'll fire you up as well, follow Eric Thomas. He's a beast. When I was going through suicidal thoughts, he helped me. He inspired me to be what I'm doing today, boundless. He saved my life by making the video, but then I had to save my life by making a decision. Folks, I invite you, make a decision today. Your life is important. You are important. You're worthy. You need to be on this earth. If you're breathing right now, that's because God still has something for you. But he's got free will. He's not going to stop you from taking your life if that's what you decide. But that's not what he wants. That's not what I want. And I promise you, got so many people. Even if you've only got 5 people in your life, you commit suicide, that could affect them. You know, when I thought about it, I had to think about my sisters, my nieces, my nephews, my mom, my dad. Like just sitting there and thinking about, son, I miss you and I wish you wouldn't have took your life. I promise you, even if you are on a deserted island, I don't know you, but what I went through, my heart is your heart, and I care about you. So please, if you have no one else that you think cares about you, please know that I do. I love you. I hope this helped for anybody that saw this video. Please share this video. Suicide is a real thing, and it's getting worse than ever. Please share this video, because every single day and every single time you share this video and someone sees it, it could save a life. Like, I literally have had 14 people tell me I helped them not commit suicide. I had a guy that was about to drown himself in Florida and was waiting because I was the last person on the beach. And I just listened to my intuition to talk to him. I tried to walk away and I saw him, and I was just like, talk to this guy. I had no clue why. And by the end of the conversation, he said, man, I was literally waiting on you to leave because you was the last one here. I was going to swim as far as I could that way, knowing that I was so exhausted. I wasn't ever going to turn around until I was so exhausted to turn around and just watch me float to the bottom, because I knew I wouldn't have no energy to swim back. And I knew that there would be nobody there to save me. So I was purposely waiting for you to leave. Ended up getting that dude's number, helped him get back on track. He was saying he really wanted to move back to New York, and he did, and he got connected with people. And I'm just like, all it took was one conversation. All it takes is one conversation and a commitment to yourself that I'm going to get healing no matter what it takes, no matter who wants to judge me on, okay, you know what, I said that I was having suicidal thoughts. Let's be real. Unless you've had just the perfect life, which is, come on now, even the rich commit suicide. Like, I honestly think that the devil's probably put that in everybody's head at least once. And if not, like, maybe it hasn't been to a point where you contemplated suicide, but maybe even thoughts of like hurting yourself. Like, have you friend, when I was a kid, I'd get mad and I'd punch a wall. I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, I hurt myself because of my anger. I knew what was going to happen when I punched it. One time I punched a tree. Like, that ain't going to move. I ain't doing that again. So even if you haven't contemplated suicide, I invite you to put yourself in other people's shoes and know that they're just hurting and they feel trapped. And it's why I created Boundless, because I was tired of being trapped. If you know anybody, like, you never know what people are going through in life, be kind. When you see somebody and they're being short, maybe they're hurting. Today, the person, I'm not gonna lie, the 4 people I talked to this week, I didn't know from Adam. I saw them on social media, and the comments they were making, I was like, man, this person's not in a good place. But the person that told me that they was considering suicide today was somebody that I am very close to. And I asked that person, what's crazy, I asked that person a simple question. I said, okay, so if you continued living your life the same way you're living it, and a doctor called you today and said you only have 6 months to live, would you be happy knowing that you may or may not have 6 months to fix what we're talking about is what I felt like, say, or he, an issue? And that person said to me, I'd almost just rather kill myself to not have to worry about that phone call and that 6 months of life. And I said, man, I invite you to get professional help, because that answer, it's not, hear me from the bottom of my heart, that answer, that response, that reaction, that emotion is not an acceptable answer. It's an answer, and it is a feeling, and I know how you feel, but you have one life to live. And forget the past. You can make a change today and make a decision that today I'm moving forward. There ain't nothing you can do about the past except for learn that lesson and do differently. So if you're hurting because of something you did, not even something that somebody did to you, but what you did, forgive yourself. Take a breath and forgive yourself. You're human. We're not robots. Everybody messes up. I remember when I was a kid, I would look at my parents and be like, man, what they say, that's law, right? Like what your parents say, that's as you believe it, right? You know no different. Like, nah, someone else's parent could say something like, my mama said, like Bobby Boucher, my mama said. All them alligators angry because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush. Right? But I realized when I got older, my mom and dad were wrong a couple times. And I realized I became an adult. I'm a father, and I've been wrong. But you know what, my son, I know how he looks at me like, Dad's my superhero. Dude, we're best friends. Man, that dude is my mini-me. And I am so excited to see how my children turn out, because I'm choosing to do everything I can to not cause trauma to them. Now, take that another step further. I'm also getting healing daily for my kiddos. And you know what? Even deeper, I'm doing it so my kids can have great relationships with their next boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse. They're 2 and 4. Right? Like, this is big picture, folks. So we're not like, I'm not trying to get healed. You're healed today. This is a process, baby. And you know what? Yesterday, I may have failed. I may have failed multiple times in that conversation with the person that said they were going to commit suicide today. You know what? I could have probably been like, man, I probably could have said that better. I could have maybe like considered his feelings a little bit more. I don't know. Sorry. That's how I feel in today's world, participation trophies, but that's not me. And that's something I can work on. I can own that. Like, for me to be able to talk to anyone, I have got to learn how to talk to anyone, right? That's self-growth that I am working on still today. And anybody that is even 80, 90, like, you have an opportunity to learn and grow. And so I want to leave you with this. I was being hard on myself this week, you know, like I've got a lot of big things going on, and I was being hard on myself. And I was like, I even said to myself, I was like, man, you're 35. Because I was comparing myself to somebody that was like 7 years younger than me, buddy of mine that's freaking killing it. And I was just laughing afterwards, because I was like, man, I was sitting here like damn near pouting. I'm so happy for my buddy, but somehow, whenever I was already having a frustrating day about some stuff, like somehow that number got thrown at me again. I think it was the devil, because he was like, yeah, let's get him being jealous or something. I don't. So then I was like, man, I'm 35 and close to, then I was like, I'm close to 40, like, you know, it just started, you know, and, you know, well, if I don't achieve this by 40, I'm like, man, I'm starting to think about stuff like 5 years from now for no reason. It's just, I'm cracking up, because I'm like, what are you even doing? Like, why is this? And I'm like, not today, saying, you know, I'm laughing at him. Like, good try, you had me for a second. But then I thought about it, and I was talking to my buddy. I was like, dude, I was cracking myself up, and I was telling him about it. Actually, it was my employee. And he was like, man, dude, you've been killing it. Like, what? You've been having those thoughts? I was like, man, sometimes they just pop in my head. You can't even help it. And he's like, well, how long you been doing this? And I was like, oh, only, you know, this many years, but like really doing it, you know, consistently for this many years. And he's like, well, you only been an adult for, you know, technically 18. So, man, you like still like kind of a young adult, like. And I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, man, I eat super healthy. Heck, I could live to be 100. I still got 65 years of adulthood left with all these lessons. And it's like, boom. You know, when you listen and you talk to people about things that are going in your head, you have those, boom, mind-blowing moments where you're just like, why didn't I think of that? Why am I being so hard on myself for the 10 first years of adulthood when you're still trying to figure shit out? Like, now I'm figuring shit out, like I've been through life, and now I'm got a ton of lessons, and I'm like, man, just imagine what you can accomplish in 65 years when you put yourself through the lessons and then take the time and ownership to be the source of intentionality in your life to create the life you want to live by getting help learning about those lessons. Mind blown. It's a 30-minute video. I'm sorry it took so long, but it had to be said. So I hope you watched this whole video. Again, if you are fighting suicide at all, please reach out. Hit me up, Curtis Potter Jr., Curtis with a K on YouTube, Boundless Inspiration on Facebook. Shoot me a DM. I always respond to them. I promise you I will respond. I love you all. I hope this helps. Like, share, comment. If you want to comment about something you're going through so you can see how many people in this community will be willing to talk to you, hey, put it on there if you want. You'll get messages, I promise you that. But if you don't want to be that exclusive, you can send me a DM. If you, or I don't know, I think I may have said that backwards, but anyways, if you have gotten through suicidal thoughts, either put your story or in the comment section put I have, me too, you know, hashtag me too, like it's for something else, but like, you know, put hashtag I have, hashtag boundless. We're in this together. I love you all. Have a great day, because every day just a step closer to being boundless, baby.